bingo in Blackpool.
Oh, okay, watching the bingo.
Again. We'll go again.
We'll go again next year. All day. He's been asking to go to Blackpool again. Hello folks and welcome to today's vlog. We're going to be doing something a little bit different on today's vlog because we're having another one of those days where we haven't really done anything and Andy doesn't really want to be on camera and Anna's been out at work all day and other people have wasted the day watching SummerSlam and just generally...
What, you?
What? How dare you?
6 hours was it?
No!
6 hours?
Only if you include the pre-show. So what we're going to do today is an idea we've stolen off several other YouTubers, and we're going to be replying to your comments, because replying to comments is something I used to really enjoy doing. I used to be very, very regimented about the fact that I would go through and reply to every single comment, or at the very least give it a thumbs up to acknowledge that I'd read it. And that was quite easy to do when we were getting 300 views a day or 500 views a day. But for the last month or so, we've averaged about 60 to 70,000 views a day, which obviously then come with a huge number of comments attached to them as well. And it's just not realistic anymore, while views are at their current level, for me to be able to reply to all the comments. I do still read them all because I still have the notifications on my phone. I don't know how much longer I'll be able to have the notifications on my phone for, but at the moment notifications are still on, so I see them when they come in. As you can see right now, there's a whole load that have just come in. So I read them all, I just don't have time to thumbs up them or reply to them. But what I have done is over the last week or so, while we've been out doing our activities, been making a note of some of the more interesting comments that have been made, some of the questions that have been asked down in the comments, and we're going to answer them. So, first one, I'd like to know how Andy gets his eyes and teeth checks. Does he go to a regular dentist and optician?
He goes to a dentist, doesn't he?
Yeah, he has it was a battle to get him a dentist. There are some videos here on the channel. I'll try and link to some videos on the channel of him going to the dentist. It was a battle to get him an autism specialist dentist. A normal dentist just wouldn't get the job done. So it was a good 3 or 4 years it took us of constantly asking.
But it was the same in Nottingham.
Yeah,
it took me years to
it's very difficult to get an autism specialist dentist, but we now have one, and I would actually say the dentist he has now is probably the best professional that we work with. She is absolutely superb. No, I think the dentist is just... the dentist just got it from the word go. She's like an Andy whisperer. She just can get him to do things that nobody else can. I wonder if the fact that he's a teenage boy and she's in her 20s, would you say? Yeah. Fairly young. I wonder if that helps with the whole getting him to cooperate with her thing. But she's brilliant. Optician though. Hello, Andy.
Yeah. Play Lego City.
Okay,
you can play Lego City in a little while.
Get a charge.
Dave's now joined us as well. Apparently these people who've not wanted to be on camera all day, every time we've got the camera out, everyone's legged it. The moment I actually say, right, we're going to do this then, and turn the camera on, everyone now wants to be a star. But with the girls, they never went to see an optician at an optician's until we were told by the school that they needed to. I don't think it's normal to just take the kid to an optician unless the school identifies them as needing it, is it?
I don't know.
Or am I just a monster? Yeah, well no, it's not something that happens at secondary school. It's usually identified at primary school. I don't think they have eye tests at secondary school, so again, maybe he's not having them now.
Still secondary school.
But who tested you? Why did you get them?
I couldn't see, so I went myself.
Interesting, because when I was a kid, I had my eye test at school and they referred me to the optician. I think that's how it still works. I hope that's how it still works. John Smith wants to know, what hair products do I use? Today, as you'll see, because I'm sweating a lot, it's one that doesn't work very well. But I get asked this a lot, weirdly. I've brought one down. I use VO5 Rework Putty. Too much of it. And Anna loves every morning I have to put it in my hands and then clap to activate it.
So what do I do?
You yell, well done, Kevin.
Yeah, well done.
Weirdly, it doesn't even say to do that anymore.
No, you just do it.
No, I swear it used to say on the jar, rub a small amount, yeah, okay, this is like 3 portions. Rub a small amount between your hands, work through the hair from the roots, sculpt and shape. Anyway, next question. Why doesn't Kev comment or like any comments? I explained that at the start. That's why we're doing this video. I just don't have time to anymore. There's a lot of comments. We get hundreds of comments a day. But at the point where I realised I couldn't do it anymore, it was taking 2 or 3 hours a day. And that was months ago, and views have gone up massively since then. So I cannot imagine. It would literally be a full-time job at this point, replying to all the comments, which would be mad because I wouldn't have time to make any videos. We've had the same question in slightly different wording from lots of people. Why don't you go here? Will you come here? Have you got any plans to come here? If you like Blackpool, you'll like here. If you like trams, you'll like here. This is just a small smattering of them. Please keep these coming, by the way. We love to hear about places that are good and why they're good. Just telling us to come to a place because you live there probably won't get the job done. But if there's a really interesting thing about a particular place, then by all means tell us about it. But realistically, we're not going to be taking Andy anywhere else this year now on like trips, because summer is nearly run out, money has definitely run out, and we're starting to plan stuff for next year. So by all means keep the suggestions coming in. Don't be offended if we don't come to your town. We can only go to so many places, and somebody wants to go back to Blackpool and has also been hinting today that he'd like to go to the Premier Inn in London.
Yeah, but he won't want to do anything in London.
But that's what it was when he went to Blackpool. He didn't want to do anything on the first day in Blackpool, but then once we actually got there, he was keen then once he saw it.
Maybe
so
we should go to make sure we're there for 2, so we've got that day as well.
I think when we and realistically this is going to be next year now, unless you're watching Premier Inn. But I mean, even that, we need some spensies too. Just a hotel doesn't get the job done. But when we actually do go, I think we'll have to play it exactly the way we played Blackpool. So aim to get there as the hotel opens, take him straight to the hotel, but via a route that shows him some things he'd be interested in, and then tell him we're there for 2 nights and we're going out the next day, and let him choose what he wants to do, because he chose to do the tower. We gave him all the options and he chose trams and tower. So if we get him there in the afternoon, let him spend the night in the hotel, and then the next day, right, you've got the choice of London Eye, Buckingham Palace, the Tower of London, the Shard, the trams, all these things that he might be interested in. I mean, imagine the lift in the Shard. He'd love that. It's not something I would typically view as a tourist thing. He'd love to go up the Shard.
Should I go Premier Inn to London?
Andy, how old are you?
I'm 8.
It's 8 today. I swear there has been a time when he's got the answer to this question right. Andy is 14, yeah, he turned 14 in July. Barnsey wants to know, was Andy scared of lifts when he was little? Because his kids' phobias turned into special interests as they got older. So because he's now super interested in lifts and trams, was he afraid of lifts and trams when he was younger?
Don't think so.
No? I thought that was quite an interesting question.
No.
He's watching the Emmett clock video over and over again, by the way, the one he made on his channel.
It smells.
It does smell. How could you show a travel lodge in the background of a Premier Inn sponsored video? What's a travel lodge? 2 questions about the girls. The first one was when we were in Blackpool. I don't get it. Where are the girls? Who do they stay with? They only live with us half the time. So while we were in Blackpool, they were with their mum. Actually, Lucy was with her mum. Amy was on holiday with my dad, as you found out yesterday. Do the girls have their own room here? They have a room here that they share. They used to have a room each here before Anna and Andy existed. But then when Anna and Andy moved in, Amy moved into Lucy's bedroom. And
boys and girls can't share.
yeah, so Andy has what was Amy's old room, and they're only here half the time now anyway. They have their own separate rooms at their mum's house, but here they share because I'm too poor to get a bigger house. That's true. Is Anna ever happy?
I am. It's just when you're in the vlog and I have Andy to look out for, not 100% smiling, like because Kev puts the camera on, he knows to smile and he's always looking at it. You know, when he turns it off, grumpy face. I have other things.
Right, I'm arming you with the camera. I want proof of this. You'll never find me grumpy. I'm a cheerful, happy man all the time. All the time.
At 5:30 this morning.
Oh my word. Right, me and Anna have been together for, what, 6 years now?
Something like that.
And for most of that time, I've been the one who's needed an alarm. I've been the one who's been getting up in the morning, and she has moaned and groaned about the fact that my alarm has gone off for like a second before I've turned it off.
It's not
and
a
it was
second.
just a right, off, okay, I'm up. Bye. And that was unreasonable of me to get up and go to work.
Because
now Anna.
Hold on, that alarm, I don't mind the alarm. It was that noise would scare the life out of me, and I didn't like it.
Now Anna, at 5:30 this morning, because she started work at 7 today, 5:30 this morning. The first time she's had to set an early alarm for work. In the time that I've known her, wasn't an alarm noise that came on. A song blasted out. And it's the one that goes,
Fifth Harmony work.
I'm gonna go to work, work, work. So I'm woken up by the sound of work, 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 which is like my biggest nightmare. Early morning alarm, gotta go back to work. I thought I left this behind a year ago. I was woken up into a nightmare where I thought I had to go to work.
I turned it off within a 30
Hideous.
seconds.
Replace that with a horrible noise. So yes, she was happy at 5:30 this morning because she just made me grumpy.
I thought it would make you giggle.
It terrified me. This is going to sound like a stupid question. There are no stupid questions. But when I have salt and vinegar, it irritates my mouth very slightly, and if I eat more than one pack, it hurts a little. Does Andy's mouth get slightly sore? Andy, does your mouth ever get sore?
No.
No. I get this question a lot. Where do I get that t-shirt you're wearing in X video? I mean, this one actually I can't answer this. This was one that somebody sent me. It's a cool Pokemon Go one. Anna, as you can see, is correctly labelled today. I'm not sure where her shirt was from.
New look.
But the majority of my shirts, I would say, maybe 80%, 20% of my shirts are from the WWE store because they're wrestling ones. The other 80% are from a company called QWERTY, who make awesome, like, gaming, nerdy, geek culture mashup shirts. And they're brilliant, and they bring a new shirt out, or 3 new shirts out every day, and they only cost £9. So they're a bargain.
£9?
£9.
They used to be 6.
Well, they're £9 now. They're still a bargain. I have an affiliate link for them down in the description if you want to get yourself one of the many shirts that I've got as well. But you do tend to have to act fast. Usually, by the time you've seen me in a shirt, it's probably not on sale anymore because they're on sale for a day and then they're gone. But use the link down in the thing. If you end up buying one of their shirts, they do have some stuff on like back order as well, so you can buy some of the older stuff. I think the Rickroll shirt that people always ask about, I think that is still on there. But yeah, use my affiliate link, and then for every shirt you buy, I get a free shirt, and then I don't have to pay any £9 anymore, which would be awesome. New shirts for Kev. Recently found your channels because of your football manager stuff. My brother's also autistic, and when he was younger, he had a thing about trains and buses where it'd have to be the first at the button to get off. You already know where this is going with Anna. So on a train, he'd be first at the doors to press the button to open the doors, and on the bus, he'd do similar stuff. Does Andy have similar traits?
Yep.
Oh yeah.
All
in fact, you would have seen this if you've watched the Through Andy's Eyes video of the Blackpool trams. I didn't have the shot in my vlog that I put out, but this full 17-minute tram spectacular that's on Andy's channel, he gets quite frustrated that because we didn't know what stop we were getting off at, he couldn't press the stop button. We just knew when we saw the Blackpool Tower we had to get off the tram. So when I said, right, we're getting off at the next one, he didn't like the fact he couldn't press the stop button because someone else had already stopped it. And also there was people around the door, so he couldn't press the button to open the door. He didn't like either of those things. But yeah, he loves to press the buttons, he loves to press the stop button, he likes to open the doors. Lifts are the same. What are they called? Pelican crossings? Is that what they're called? Anything that's got a button on, Andy has to be there first and has to be the one who presses it. Could you do a video on your guys' family situation? We can, we did. It's the FAQ video. I'll link to it down in the description. Someone thinks you're Nepenthez. I've never seen Anna and Nepenthez together. I assume this is directed at you. Are we going to the London XL in October?
Possibly, maybe.
Definitely. We are going to be there for London Comic Con. If that's the event that you mean. If there's something else going in London XL, no. But we will be going to London Comic Con at the XL in October. We're just going to be there for the Saturday and Sunday because somebody thinks it's okay to start going to uni on a Friday this year, so we have to miss the Friday of events. Which frankly, I think you need to get priorities right. Comic Con's a 3-day event that starts on a Friday.
We'll either go on Saturday or we won't go at all.
Drop out.
Well, not happening.
See, never happy. Why doesn't Andy go to the barbers?
Because they refuse to cut his hair.
Yeah, we've been SKEG.
I know this.
He's looking up Skegness. Yeah, we've been asked to leave barbers loads of times. He might actually be able to do it now. I mean,
I used to take him.
It would need to be someone who's very, very sensitive and understood autism. Back when we were getting thrown out all the time, that was when, for us to do it, we would have to literally pin him down, hold him in place, and accept we were going to get bitten. It's not like that now, though. So maybe he would be able to handle a barber's now. But to be honest, he has his head shaved we can do that, or you can do that.
I can do that.
It's not a challenging
Well,
start
you
to
want
do.
Blackpool again?
We'll go to Blackpool again next year, maybe.
In premiering.
Maybe.
He doesn't want it styled. He hates all that.
Yeah.
So,
The reason he has it, another question people often ask is, why don't you let him have it longer and cut it with scissors? He doesn't like scissors, and he hates having his hair washed. So for him, the least of all evils is to have it so short that it barely needs washing. It just needs a quick rinse off. Yeah, he doesn't care what his hair looks like. So if he ever expressed a preference and said, I wanted long hair or I want styled hair, then we'd say, okay, you need to go to the barber then, because we can't do that. And we can have that conversation with him. But because he doesn't care, we just cut it the easiest way to maintain, because he does care about having it washed and hates having his head touched. And he goes back to school in about 2 weeks, isn't it?
2 weeks more.
It's early September.
Yeah.
I don't do shout outs because I get asked to do shout outs
No.
probably at a rough estimate 10 to 15 times a day. So if I did shout outs, I'd have to do them for everybody, to be fair. And if I did them for everybody, there'd be like 2 or 3 minutes of every video that would be shout outs, and that would be really, really boring. So it's easier to be fair to everybody and just say I don't do any. I think that's fair. The easier, if you want to get, I mean, Christopher, you've seen for yourself, if you want to get your name read out on the channel, the easiest way to do it is to say something interesting, either in a Q&A or just down in the comments. And if you're interesting, then that's a way to get your name mentioned on the channel. Am I a giant, or are you small, or is it both?
They're both.
I'm 6'2", Anna's 4 foot.
I'm
8.
5 foot.
5 foot apparently. So yeah, there's what, 14 inches between us. Why don't we let Andy stay at home alone? He's 14. Because he's Andy, he would. I
wouldn't either.
Yeah, can you just imagine some of the things that he could get up to? We don't like to leave him in this room on his own, just because of things that he could do. He has no sense of fear, no sense of danger. He has no issue with just walking out the front door and wandering off and whatever takes his fancy, and he wouldn't necessarily come back until he was done. If something didn't work and there was no one here to help him, he would just destroy the entire house. Literally, he would smash everything.
It's not that music.
Yeah, he's watching the Blackpool stuff again. But if, for example, his iPad stopped working and he was home alone, he would smash the iPad, but then he'd also smash the TV, he'd smash everything else, there'd be, all the furniture would be turned over. We've seen this happen before, in seconds when we've been in the room. I can't imagine what it would be like if he was... Yeah.
He smashed his DS because the memory card had come and he smashed it. And
well, when we were in Nottingham and we had the issue with his memory card being full on his camera, the only reason he still has a camera is because when he threw it at me, I caught it. But we were sat down filming the trams and suddenly his stopped recording because his SD card was full. This was like a month ago when we were there. Yeah, and it just got full. He just burst into tears and threw the camera at me. Well, he threw the camera, I don't even know if it was supposed to be at me. Luckily, boing, caught it. But it could have just as easily gone flying and smashed or gone under a tram or anything. I don't think that's something that's ever likely to happen. We hope he's as independent as he possibly can be in the future.
Not 14.
But I don't expect him to ever be fully independent and not need someone around.
We
will go to Blackpool next year. You just have to watch the videos now. What are you watching?
Oh,
Nottingham.
You're watching Nottingham now, are you?
We're watching the bingo in Blackpool.
Oh, okay, watching the bingo.
Again. We'll go again.
We'll go again next year. All day. He's been asking to go to Blackpool again.
This is what it gets like though.
I know. That is the end of us replying to comments though, so if you didn't get your comment replied to, then I probably didn't see it, but we will do this again. So if you want your comment to be replied to in future, make sure you make an interesting comment or ask a comment or ask an insightful question, and you too might get a question answered. But for now, we are going to disappear. Tomorrow is going to be an interesting one on the vlog, because Anna's got her full day at work tomorrow, which starts at 3 in the evening. So 3 in the afternoon, me and Andy have to fend for ourselves. Last week he just went to bed. I'm interested in what he's going to do this week, especially as I don't have a meal for tomorrow. So I think tomorrow might be the day I have my MRE and survive on that while you're not here. Me and Andy are going to do full-on survival vlog. We'll see if he sticks around for it or if he just decides to hide in his room again.
What are you doing?
Dave's just lying down. But we are going to end things there for today, so if you have enjoyed today's vlog, please make sure you leave a nice big thumbs up on there for us. Subscribe to the channel for more daily vlogs. And thank you very much for watching.
Yeah!